So in the first video that I posted, I didn't show you how to do the sleeve. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make the sleeve that is going to fit in that armhole perfect. So what I want you to do is just pay attention as we go through the drafting process. So what you have to do first is to draw your border line or your starting line. You draw this line out first. This is the first thing you should do. After you get this line, you now measure from this part to get your length of the sleeve. So you should have done your client shoulder to elbow measurement from the point where you stop with the shoulder. You have to measure from that point downward to wheresoever it is supposed to stop, and you know that. So after you get that shoulder to elbow measurement, you are going to place it right here. You're going to place it right here. You are going to draw that line out also. This is going to help you to get a perfect sleeve of your kaftan every single time. Every single time I can show you get a perfect sleeve. Every single time. The reason I'm adding this other half is because of the half that is up there. Because I don't want it to make my shirt elbow circumference part go up on. So what you have to do here is measure the length. In my own case is 24. This 24 we are minusing 2.5 from it, which will be 21.5. And then we'll add back, as you can see, 1 from 24, 1, 2.5. And then we'll add back 1 to it, which is the 1 that is meant for here, which we extended down a little bit, that is meant for there, and to join the waistband or the cuff back to the shirt sleeve. That is what that other half is for. Okay, so we are going to roll these lines. So once you get these lines, all you have to do next is to measure. Next thing you need to do is to measure from this start line up here 5 inches. Here 5 inches. You can also roll this line. This is your armhole depth or your crown depth that is going to correspond with what you have there. And then you just take your time and make this curve, as you can see, like so. Yes, like this. Take your time, you're going to get it. Let me trace that part out, like so. This is it. Once you do it like this perfectly, you achieve that result you are seeing. Okay, let me shine it clearly so you can see in the camera. So you can see it clearly in the camera. So if you measure this, because you have to measure it to confirm whether what you have here is actually what you supposed to be having. And if we measure, when we measure our armhole at the beginning, it was 10.5, so we should be marking 10.5 here. So we are right at 10.5. So we could do a little bit here, but that is optional. But once you get your 10.5, it's going to work for you. Perfect. So yes, after getting that your elbow circumference, you divide your elbow circumference by 2, and then you mark it here. So in my own case, My elbow circumference is 12. So I'm going to mark 12. And then I'm going to mark 1. As you can see, I marked them different. Then at the wrist, at the wrist, my own is 8. Around my wrist is 8. Then you pay keen attention to this part. I'm going to mark half. From this half, I'm going to mark 1. Let me explain that again. You divide your elbow circumference by 2. You mark that measurement. After marking it, then you mark 1 for seam allowance. Then at your wrist, my wrist circumference I will measure is 8. So I mark that 8. And then I mark half. Then I mark 1 for seam allowance. This half is going to be used for our dot at the wrist area. So if you can see or share the dot at the wrist area, this is what the half is for. So once you get these lines, all you have to do is use your ruler. Just connect them. Take your time to do it. Not something you should rush with. Just connect them to each other, like so. And then at this part, usually there are other people that just go straight like this. It's also going to work, but sometimes going straight like they might. For me, I usually like to curve it in a little bit so that it can reduce the excess of it. So my bicep will be around 13. As you can see, 13 plus the 1. So you see. So because of that, I always like to go in like this. Get like so. So in that way, I'll get rid of that problem. So don't worry about that part that you see with a little bit of curve. And it's not a problem. So if you take a look at this, is how your sleeve should be. Your elbow line, your wrist. You see, this is how your sleeve should be. Right? Once you get this, you are going to get a perfect sleeve for your kaftan, and it's going to look very, very much cool on it. Right? It's going to fit in perfectly. I can give you the assurance that it's going to fit in perfectly well. You're going to love your suit. If you just follow this step, you are going to love your suit. So stay blessed. Have a lovely rest of your day. Peace.